What's up, dudes? It's Molly. I'm just here with Morning Muse. I have my deck of pictures, and I'm just gonna pop pictures while my computer takes a while to get started. It starts, turns itself off, starts, turns itself off, all that kind of stuff. So I woke up, and the first kind of download I got from Spirit was, they have been proven so very wrong. They have been proven so very wrong. Yeah, the know-it-all doesn't know shit. And the know-it-all convinced a bunch of people they knew it all. And they just made it up. So Spirit is saying, no, this isn't going to happen any longer. All right? Somebody may have sabotaged somebody's opportunities, career, something like that. So the way it came through is, Spirit says, explain what happened. I come from a dysfunctional family like everybody does. Every family is dysfunctional. A family member of mine started projecting their own shadow upon me. And it has been absolutely horrific. This person took kind of a know-it-all, bossy attitude about things. And basically talked a bunch of shit about me. And then they got into a rage and started screaming at me on the phone. They screamed, "You don't have any friends. You don't go anywhere. You don't do anything." Yeah, I haven't seen this family member in years, and no part of my life has that ever been true. I do have friends. When I said, "What are you talking about? I have friends. I just went out to lunch with some girlfriends." Bullshit! Prove it. What's their names? That's what that person said in their rage. I was dumbfounded. We started talking about me being high-functioning autistic, a spectrum-y person, a high-functioning autistic person. That person yelled back, "Bullshit! Prove it! When'd you get your diagnosis? I've decided you're bipolar." What? Like, who are you telling this stuff to? You're totally making this stuff up. And then a smear campaign happened on me. Now, this person who decided all this stuff about me, which is really just projected their shadow upon me, made up a completely false reality. Completely false reality. This person has never stepped foot in a psychology office ever in their life. I've done intensive therapy just to kind of heal from some major things. I've also done EMDR. I'm not bipolar. I've never been diagnosed as bipolar. I don't behave like a bipolar person. I'm high-functioning autistic. But that person has created a completely false reality. I don't know why. It's been horrific. Some people that that person knows, and other people that I know may have access to behind the scenes medical record checking. So that smug person may have looked into my medical records and not seen an autism diagnosis and been all smug. They also wouldn't have seen a bipolar diagnosis because I'm not bipolar. But what they have to remember, this is what a bunch of people who stick their nose where it doesn't belong, who do a smear campaign on somebody due to a false reality that they made up, has to remember. Not everybody has the same health insurance. So I have health insurance through my ex, Wells Fargo. You think it would be good health insurance, but it's total shit insurance. Therapy not covered. Well, you would call a therapist office. This is when we learned all this, when my ex had an affair with a person at work and we had to go see a marriage counselor years ago. No counselor takes the insurance that we have. So we had to pay $180 out of pocket every therapy session. So everything, and then we were supposed to work with another, like each of us were supposed to do individual therapy. We did marriage counseling with this person. We were both supposed to do individual counseling as well. And of course, my ex, yeah, he don't do counseling. He don't need it. Yeah, this is the brat who pees in the pool. Of course, he's the one who needed it the most, but he refused to go. So I did private therapy and counseling. That's where I did EMDR, all this kind of stuff to figure out my scapegoat role in my family, to figure out my constant abuse that I had up until then kind of been resigned to take because I had been trained that I was the scapegoat of the family. So the scapegoat of the family takes all the family's bullshit. Everybody just projects it out on that person so they don't have to deal with their own bullshit. So it's always the scapegoat's problem. The scapegoat is always lying. The scapegoat is always fucked up, even though they're not. So I unfolded all of that with a private therapist. I unfolded different aspects of my life, explored being spectrum-y, and worked that all out of fucking network. So when you go and peek at my fucking diagnoses, so you can smugly say, yeah, I was right all the time, it won't be in my chart where people are snooping, because this is all out of network. And what people are doing is highly illegal. I have a new doctor in my network. I went to my new doctor. I sat down with my doctor and they updated my medical chart for my in-network services. Yeah, my medical chart says autism spectrum disorder now. Know it all. This person kept saying, bullshit, bullshit. So after I went to my new doctor, I sent a screenshot of my chart saying, here, I'm proving it to you. What did they do back? No, that doesn't prove you have a diagnosis. No, that just proves you talk to your doctor about that. It's like this person, it's weird what they've convinced in their own head. So nothing I do will be right at all. And I am a textbook spectrumy person. When I first told my family about this, that particular family member yelled back, bullshit, prove it. I've decided you're bipolar. Somehow this person got a psychology degree from the couch, who's never stepped foot into a psychologist's office in their life. Yeah, this person don't know what they're doing. And they're totally ruining somebody else's life with their bullshit projections and gossiping. And it's one of my family members. The whole thing has been absolutely horrific. Horrific. Then when all was said and done, recently that person sent me a text. Yeah. They don't want me to be their family member anymore. No. They officially discarded me. And from now on, I'm not their family member anymore. I have cried 1 million tears over this person and their bullying. I'm currently being shunned. This person leads a shun campaign on me. I get real nervous, real panicky when I have to talk to this person. They're not nice at all. They're really fucking mean to me. And they've convinced other people to be really fucking mean to me. So when I got a video together to show my family because I am a textbook high-functioning autistic person. Textbook. I sent the video to my family members, and they refused to watch it right away. It was a 10-minute video, which I will link in the comment section here. It was almost like it was a power struggle with, you can't force us to watch it. We'll watch it on our own time. That's how it came through. I cried. I said, why won't you watch that video? I'll watch it on my own time, Molly. A week later, my family members watched the video. That's how gross this got, this bullying got. The main person who has driven this smear campaign against me didn't respond at all. about it. The other person said to me, I said to them, did you finally watch the video? Yes. What do you think? Well, are you going to buy those earbuds? Yeah, that video was sponsored by some earbuds. I said, no, I'm not going to buy the earbuds. That's all that was said. Somebody may have reached out and contacted a bunch of people and created a whole false story about someone, and a whole bunch of people are realizing how mean this shit talker went for no reason. They were completely wrong. So why would people do that? Because if you stop being the scapegoat of a family, which is roles that have been placed in this family for a very, very long time, if you stop being the scapegoat, the family dynamics get shaken up. I'm gonna go get my coffee. I'll be right back. So I had a spiritual awakening due to narcissist abuse. I'm the only awakened one in my family. And I kind of transcended the lesson of the scapegoat. And I've had to do it completely alone. My family went long stretches of time after my father passed. My family went long stretches of time with their own grief, projecting their shadow upon an innocent person. And then they discarded me. But I'm the only one who's been telling the truth this whole time. I told this person, hey, when my dad was sick, I said, hey, you should consider going to a therapist. You've never been. I do therapy. And it will help you through all of this horribleness. But that person, no, everybody needs therapy but them type of idea. That person said, okay, well, yeah, maybe I'll make a therapy appointment. I said, wonderful. And then I talked to them on the phone. This was before everything. This is when they started kind of all of this. And I said, hey, did you ever look into doing the therapy appointment? Yeah, I have an appointment on Friday. I made an appointment on Friday. This person tells little white lies. And it's just like, oh, it's just kind of to get through the whatever this situation is. But I believed him. And I said, I believed them, I said. I said, oh, Saturday came. I talked to that person. And I said, did you go to your therapy? How was it? And what they say? And here's where it's tough. Because this person doesn't realize they don't know what they're talking about. And they're trying to spin something with someone who does know how it works. And this person said, hey, do you remember Scott LaFriends? The name Scott might mean something. Our old childhood neighbor that lived 3 houses down. Or 2 houses, however many it was. I said, yeah. Well, you would never guess. He was the therapist. It just happened to be him. And therapists can't do therapy on people they know. Oh, look, there was a sign in here. Sagittarius. This is my card for somebody who has serious anger issues. So we had to cancel it. Oh, okay. Big old lie. Yeah, therapists can work on people they know. They do all the time. A therapist can work on, like a therapist in their 40s can definitely work on their neighbor that they knew when they were 7. But with this person, everybody just has to accept the false realities they put out. Because the person refuses to work on their own shadow. And instead, they project it out onto other people. So this whole time, this person's been shit-talking, doing armchair diagnosis of me, snooping, sending messages. It's called a smear campaign. And it's been completely untrue. That's how smear campaigns work. And it has been absolutely horrific to see this side of this person I love very, very much completely discard me. And ruin possibly any opportunities I had by projecting their own bullshit out. It's been horrid. And just recently, I got a message from them that they don't want to be my family member anymore. They will have their own private relationships with my children. But from now on, no, I'm not their blank. Their sister. My heart has been blown apart. Has been absolutely blown apart. I've been ignored, shunned, bullied, screamed at. All because somebody doesn't know how to properly handle their grief. But this dynamic has gone on pretty much my whole life. What that person says goes. So I am a spiritual orphan. I've had to do all of this by myself. My family members know what my ex has done to me. One family member of mine had a child that I gave that family member a job, and I gave them a bonus every weekend for the new baby. I knew about the new baby before his mom, his grandma, his brothers and sister knew. And then the smear campaign started happening for no reason on me. I called my mother and I said, is there going to be a baby shower for the baby? Is my sister going to do a baby shower? No, she's not doing a baby shower. Oh, okay. Then I'm standing in the middle of my living room and I watch my ex walk through the front door with his mother, his father, who's been to jail for pedophilia, his sister, and they're all holding little baby blue goodie bags. And I say, where were you? And my ex says to me, well, we were at the baby shower. That's when my heart blew up. I wasn't invited to the baby shower. My ex was, his pedophile dad, his mother, and his sister all went. To my family's celebration of my nephew's upcoming baby. I cried. And I talked to my mother and I said, how could this happen? My mother said, well, we didn't do the guest list. If you want to find out why you weren't on the guest list, maybe you should take it up with your nephew's baby mama's mom, because she made the guest list. I am getting punished for something I didn't do, and I can't figure out what it is. That's how bad it has gotten. My family embraces my ex who beat me up. I sent a video of those bruises on my arm to my family member. And my family member's response was, well, let me ask you this. Did you break all his records? Like I deserved it? When I found out my ex was bold-faced lying to me and my daughter and my son for 2 years. He was living a double life. He's been fucking another woman for like 2 years. On our joint bank account, going on vacation with her, spending our Christmas money on her rotten crotch goblins, whatever it is. My children got boxes of chocolate for Christmas after I gave him $1,000 for Christmas. And then he told me on Christmas Day morning, we're gonna lose the house Do you have any money? Just out of the blue. He does all the finances. I have dysgraphia. I have a problem with numbers. I said, yeah, I do have $1,000 squirreled away. Well, kids aren't getting presents and we're going to lose the house unless you give it to me. So I gave him the $1,000 on Christmas. It was Christmas Eve morning. Because he had said, I'm going to go buy Christmas presents for the kids. But he kept putting it off. So I kept saying, should I buy them? No, I'm getting them. So then I gave him the $1,000. And then he says, I'm going to work. Yeah, no, he went to his girlfriend's and did Christmas with our $1,000. This is who my family is still embracing. So when I found out all that happened, I went down and he has blown all of our money on records, brand new records. He has crates and crates of records. And I said, did you spend all of our Christmas money on your girlfriend? He said some smarmy, stuck up, totally abusive thing that he says all the time. He just 2 days ago called me a fucking cunt. So I pushed over one of his crates of records. I did not break all of his records. I pushed over one of his crates of records. Those records stood for everything gross about this dude. And he got up and he beat me up. And I had to hear my family members say, well, did you break all his records? No, I didn't. I didn't. But he told my nephew that I did, and then my nephew went and told my family I broke all his records. Yeah, I've done whatever smear campaign. This is what it's like to live with an abusive person like this. They will steal your family from you. That's exactly what has happened to me. And I have now been discarded. My sister don't want to have me as her sister anymore. She sent me a text. Just like that. But my ex is invited to her kid's graduation party. I've never befriended any of her exes. I've never triangulated on Facebook. No, we pay attention to all of your friends, your exes, your everything, but we shun you. But we know you're watching. Yeah, I've never done that. That has been done to me. And it's been horrific. And since my dad has passed, he has visited me 4 times. Every time I'm upset, I yell out to the universe, send my dad. My dad can't come in that moment. My energy is too fragmented. He comes when I'm calm. I'm not expecting it. On my 50th birthday, I got a text from my mother and my sister. Happy 50th birthday. That's it. I was sitting in front of my butterfly garden, and I had noticed this this sapling had started to grow right in front of where I was sitting. And I was sitting there, I was feeling okay, feeling good. Kind of thinking what it's like to be 50. And then all of a sudden I said, that sapling is really, it's like ruining my view. And so, and it was kind of grown in between this little fencing thing I had. So I wrestled with it. I tried to break it. It would not break. And then all of a sudden, I had a guide. Something said, break it this way. Pull it the completely opposite way you were doing. And when I did, it created such a loud snap. It sounded like a shotgun. And when that happened, I felt my dad's essence just come over me. I could smell him. I could feel him. And I was holding. I'll show you. This is my dad's hat that my son got when he graduated high school from my mother. It's a very special gift. My dad used to wear it all the time. My dad loved the University of Minnesota. So we display it in the corner of the room over here with my son's graduation centerpieces and my wand that I got from my dad. All the bark, I sat down and the bark just peeled right off of it. My dad gave me the biggest wand ever for my 50th birthday to manifest a new beginning. My dad loved me with unconditional love. He loved every one of my family members with unconditional love. And I ask the universe every day to have my dad visit my family members who don't talk to me because they need it. So I also don't look like a fishing pole. Somebody might go fishing. So let's get a final message. Here's the archangels. It's very hard if you go on a spiritual awakening and you're surrounded by unawakened people who project their shadow upon you. It's really hard. All right. So what's the final message? The final message is, if anyone snoops in my records again, you will see autism spectrum disorder. Direction. This is from the wrong deck, but it was in here. Look for clues. Grace will lead us to the exact events and experiences we need at precisely the right time. Message from the archangels. What's the message from the archangels? Divine order. Archangel Regulo. Everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past the illusion and see underlying order. So I keep looking at all my capes. Yeah, so to the family member who says, I don't do anything. I don't go anywhere. I don't have any friends. Yeah, you were just totally wrong. You made it up. I sewed every one of those capes. Open throat chakra. Make these party garlands with the scraps of fabric here. So that's kind of like the back view of one of them. You untie those, and then all those ribbons of fabric, you stretch them out and you hang them like a garland, and they float in the wind and stuff outside. If you're outside, you can put them in a doorway inside. I make all of those. I sew. I just showed 50 hats I completed. All of my supplies are arriving soon, where I make all of the money for. I make all of the money where I make all of the jewelry for my shop at the Renaissance Festival. I do my tarot channel with all of the Starseed transmissions. I cook. I raise my daughter. I garden. I go out to lunch with my friends. So this person has been very confused. Very confused. And it's been devastating. But what I have learned is I'm stronger than I ever thought I would be. And I did it all alone, by myself, with my dad watching over me, with his unconditional love. So if something similar has happened to you, just know you're not alone. It's a devastating club to be part of, but you're not alone. This is textbook moves that happens to a scapegoat when they stop being the scapegoat of the family. And if you get awakened, Spirit has you see things for how they truly are. And if you upset that dynamic that has been happening for maybe even like 50 years, it all goes to shit. But they'll move on without you. They'll project that you're the problem. They don't have to do any self-reflection. They don't have to do any of their own therapy work. They don't have to tell the truth. They don't have to anything. It's easier just to discard you than to face their own bad behavior. And it happened to me. And if it's happening to you, I'm so sorry. I would give anything to have my old family dynamic back again. Like anything. But all this damage has already been done. Ruthless. Just by people projecting their own untreated shadow onto innocent people. And if you haven't heard it sincerely, listen to me. I love you. I hope you love you. There's a message.